The Grenada Tourism Authority has made substantial improvements and achievements despite challenges faced, which includes financial difficulties, says Chief Executive Officer Rudy Grant at a news conference held at the GTA office at the Grenada St. George's on Thursday. Despite only receiving 60% of the marketing resources needed to fully market the destination from the government, the CEO says 2015 was a good year in terms of making an impact in the industry.
We are very conscious of the fact that the resources are limited, and we want to make sure that when we spend our marketing dollars, that we get the greatest level of return. We are seeking as well to work more closely with the diaspora, for them to help us as we engage in various trade shows and marketing activities, because we have to ensure that we are able to stretch the marketing dollars that we have.
There have been recorded growth in the different aspects of the tourism sector, which includes a 5.38% increase in stayover visitors and a 19.3% increase in cruise calls, he says.
We would have seen in the majority of our major source markets increases as well. That was led principally by the United States. The increases is in the vicinity of 15% when you take all the visitor arrivals together. When you look only at tourists, you're seeing an increase in the vicinity of 16.5%. Let me just say that when we report on our arrival numbers, we take into account overall students, Grenadians residing abroad, and tourists. And we then look at those breakout categories, and I can tell you that what is reported overall is reflected in the breakout categories as well. We would have seen an increase in tourist visitor arrivals from the United Kingdom, 5%, an increase from CARICOM, 2%.
He added that despite the growth in other areas, there has been a considerable decrease in the Canadian market.
The Canadian market would have decreased around 13%. Canada has its specific challenges. There's been a loss in the value of the Canadian dollar. You're talking around 40%. We would have had in 2015 as well the suspension of the Air Canada flight for 2 months, principally September and October, and we would have had Caribbean Airlines redirecting the flight out of Toronto, which came direct to Grenada through Port of Spain. Of course, Caribbean Airlines as well would have also done that for the flight coming out of New York. So Canada is an area that we are looking at. We would have in fact had some meetings with a number of airlines at the Roots Americas 2016, which took place in Puerto Rico, and we are looking to see how, working with the airlift committee, we could look to gain further airlift.
He says regardless of those challenges, Grenada has been able to benefit from the arrival of airlines such as JetBlue, American Airlines from Miami, and Delta Airlines from JFK and Atlanta. Amanda Sampson, CC6 Newsnight.